Welcome back. Let's quickly look at surface area, and we are going to start with the rectangular prism. Now, what is surface area? Surface area is the following. It is the total area covered by all the faces of a 3D object. Now, think of a box. It's a closed box, and it stands on a table. The box's base is its area. Now, if you unfold it and make it flat like a paper, all that cardboard is going to be the surface area. It is typically measured in squared units. In mathematical literacy, we mainly use millimeters squared, centimeters squared, and meters squared, and then very rarely kilometers squared. Finding the surface area of an object can help us to determine the amount when we want to wrap or paint something. Now, let's look at this. Just as I said, it's a box with a rectangular base. There is the base. If we unfold it, you will see that it ends up with 4 rectangles and 2 squares. Now, what's going to happen is this yellow part is the height and the length. And then, so that's the height and the length, and there's 2 of those, one in the front, one in the back. Then, if we look at the purple part, we are using the width and the height. That's the height, and there is the width, and there's 2 of those. And then the last part, the blue one, is the length and the width. So if we look at surface area, the formula, it's going to be 2 times the height times the length, because remember, it is, sorry for that, it is area. So the area of this one times 2, there's the first one and the second one, plus 2 times the width times the height. That's this part, and there's 2 plus 2 times the length times the width, and that is the blue ones. So you will see there's 6 faces in total that we need to add together. Let's look at an example. The dimensions in centimeters of a vanity case are shown below. Calculate the surface area of the vanity case excluding the handle. So on the side you can see a vanity case. It's open, but we want it folded flat to calculate the surface area. What is the dimensions? The length is 15, the width is 15, but it's only 10 centimeters high. So my surface area is going to be the length times the width plus the length times the height plus the width times the height. And now we need to remember that there's 2 of each, so it's going to be 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times, and then the last one plus 2 times the width times the height. So it's going to be 2 times 15 times 15 plus 2 times 15 times 10, and then plus 2 times 15 times 10 again. And then your answer will be 1050 squared centimeters, or centimeters square. Remember, because it's surface area, the base is area, it will still be squared, but for some reason, when we work with surface area, we want another type of unit. Please do not make that mistake. A little truck's cargo bin has the following dimensions: 3,110 millimeters by 1,630 millimeters by 733 millimeters. The cargo bin does not have a flat surface, and therefore the surface area must be increased by 2% to accommodate the uneven surface. Calculate the surface area of the little truck's cargo bin in square meters. Okay, let's quickly calculate the surface area. Now, you can see on this picture that they gave us the length as 3,110 millimeters. There's a comma. Now, the comma is because it's 1,000 separator. So don't go and make a mistake and say it's 3,11. Otherwise, you will be working with a model and not the actual vehicle. So surface area then is going to be the following. It's going to be 1,63, which is the width, times the length, 3,11, and there is 2 of them, plus another 2 of the length, 3,11, times the height, which is now going to be 0,733, plus 2 times the 1,63 times 0,733, and that gives us a total of 17,09 meters squared. The cargo bin is painted with a rubberizing paint with a spread rate of 4 square meters per liter. Calculate the cost of the paint needed to rubberize the whole cargo bin. Keep in mind that the paint is only sold in 5-liter tins at a cost of 250 Rand per tin. But remember, what did we read right at the start? They said we need to add 2% of the surface area because it's uneven. So now we know the surface area is 17,09. And we multiply before we can calculate the paint because we need to increase. And therefore we are going to multiply by 1,02, 102%, which gives us a total of 17,43 square meters. Now we want to figure out how many tins of paint are we going to use. So we're going to take the 17,43 and we're going to divide it by 4 because each liter can paint 4 square meters. So therefore it is going to be 3,49 liters that we will be needing. So we will need 4 liters in total, and that will be 1 tin. So our cost will be 250 Rand. So let's just recap. 1 tin will be needed and it will be 215 Rand. Let's quickly look at the surface area of a cylinder. Now remember, surface area is when you fold something open. If we look at this cylinder and we fold it open, we will see there is a circle at the top with a radius, another circle at the bottom, and then as we unfold the cylinder, we will see that it forms a rectangle. So what's going to happen is the length of the rectangle there is the same as the circumference of the circle. So when we fold it over, that will then be 2 pi radius, and then the height is going to be given. So therefore, my formula is going to be the surface area is pi radius squared plus 2 pi radius times the height. Maria wants to post house drawings that must not fold. She decides to roll them up and place them in a cylindrical container, and the container is then 30 centimeters long and has a radius of 4 centimeters. Calculate the surface area of the container. So now what we are going to do is we are going to say, well, the surface area, so it's going to be pi radius squared plus 2 pi radius times the height. Remember again, it's squared, not multiplied by 2. Pi is 3,142, that will be given, times the radius of 4 centimeters squared, that will be given as well, plus 2 times 3,142 times the radius 4 times the height of 30. And then your answer is 804,35 centimeters squared. And that brings us at the end of today's lesson. I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.